Hello, this is Tom Campbell, and we are live here in Dan. We've been walking around this area for quite some time, and we just want to share some things with you that we see. On our way up here, we were reading about the Danites as they had no inheritance yet, and they were helping the children of Israel get their inheritance. And so they came and they found this area. And as they came up, they brought a young man. His name was Micah. Micah had stolen some silver from his mother, and she had placed a curse on the silver. So he goes to his mother and says, "Mother, I'm the one that stole the silver." And she said, "Well, you're blessed of the Lord, my son, go." So he ends up taking the silver and he makes there a graven image. And we find that as the Danites, they settled in this place, that was a place known for the graven image. And then I begin to read and study and think about how Solomon had a servant, Jeroboam. And as Jeroboam was out one day, a prophet came to him and said, "You're going to have 10 tribes and Rehoboam will have 2. And I found that that Jeroboam comes up to this city, to this place, and he sets up the golden calf, and they begin to come and worship because Jerusalem was so far away, driving roughly about 4 hours. And so this place is set up as a place of worship, as an altar. And I begin to think how the Bible says, if you'll do these things, I'm going to scatter you among the nations, and I'll drive you even to the furthest part of heaven. But on the plane ride over here, I was asking the Lord my part. What am I doing here? What is the reason for me being here? And I begin to read in Nehemiah. And this is what it says in the book of Nehemiah. "Remember, I pray, the word that you commanded your servant Moses, saying, if you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the nations. But if you return to me and keep my commandments and do them, though some of you were cast to the farthest part of the heavens, yet I will gather you from there and bring them to the place which I have chosen as a dwelling place for my name." And as I thought about just while we were sitting on the rock, this is where the scattering of the children of Israel happened. This is one of the places where God looked down on the people of Israel like He did many times over, and they were given to idolatry. They were given to paganism and worshiping what they could see, touch, and taste. And God scattered them among all the nations. And as we're standing here this day, this is the place where they would do the sacrifices, and there are places over here where they had different rooms and things that were built. And we're actually standing on the very site where the children of Israel sinned against God, and they looked at God and they worshiped an image, a likeness, a creation, something they'd fashioned or formed, and God has scattered them even to this day. But in the day that we're living, we believe that God is once again gathering the people back to His land, showing them the inheritance that God promised them, stirring the hearts of men and women that this is truly the inheritance to the children of God. And as Paul said, not just the fleshly line, but those that have faith like Abraham had faith. And so we're here in Dan, and we're going to be bringing you some more videos and more footage in just a little while. Have a good day.